What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I got some bad news for you guys. I ran a Wigglytuff team, and I did very well with it. The thing about Wigglytuff is it is a little bit of a degen Pokemon, a lot of fast food pressure, not a lot of charge attack pressure, although when you have charge attack pressure, you also have Icy Wind to debuff your opponent, so it gets even crazier. But basically, what makes Wigglytuff so good is not really that Charm is broken or anything, it's really its defensive typing, right? Fairy and Normal is such a good defensive typing because it pairs very well together, and it core breaks the Darks, the Fighters, the Ghosts, the Dragons as well. There's so many typings that you do well against as Wigglytuff, and as long as you protect it from the Steel types like we're going to do with Shadow Dusknoir and Shadow Quagsire here in the backline, then Wigglytuff really does pop off and unfortunately is one of the best Pokemon in the game. Real quick though, before we get into the battles, I do want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what Wigglytuff can do. Alright, we got our first opponent of the day. Wigglytuff, unfortunately, on the lead up against Fearow. Alright, pretty neutral lead matchup here. I do want to see it here, though. My backline's not super happy to see Fearow's, so we'll see what they end up doing. My Charms do a lot of damage, right? But Drill Peck would do a lot to us as well, and they do outpace us, so it's not like the best spot to be in. But if I can chip down this Fearow a decent amount, then potentially my backline is going to be in a better spot. I'm going to shield the first attack. I'm a Wigglytuff user, so that is what we're going to do. And we'll see if they try to catch an attack here. They don't catch, so we go for the Icy Wind to make it so now we survive the next Drill Peck. And I think after that, we might be able to get a full Charm down, which would be pretty cool. Either way, now they're in, like, at least Aqua Tail or Shadow Punch range, so we're in a better spot. Charger Bug comes in. We have a Stone Edge Shadow Quagsire for it. And, I mean, they can two-shot us with X-Scissor, but at this point, because I was able to switch as quick as I was, there's no way they're going to reach that next one before I get my Stone Edge off. So he should be in a pretty good spot. With that said, they can still chip us down quite a bit, and their Fearow gets to clear their debuff, so it's not the best case situation still, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. They do shield that, so maybe I should have baited, but, you know, I don't think it's worth baiting in a spot where it's like, it's honestly not even a guaranteed shield there. They could just try to, like, let that go and farm down with Fearow. So now shields are going to be down this game. I have my Dusknoir that hopefully is going to have some play in the backline. Even with shields down, at least that guarantees I can just go for dynamic punches without at least needing to bait, just in case I do need to throw that move. Stone Edge comes through it, one-shots. The rest of that Charger Bug, likely Fearow comes in. No, actually. Gastro, of all things. Interesting. This is going to be an odd game. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, because they do get a lot of energy here, but landing this Aqua Tail is going to put them into a range where hopefully I can knock them out with a single Shadow Punch. 4, 5, 6. Okay, and they switch into Fearow. And I catch a move, but honestly, I don't know how good that's going to be for me. I was hoping more so that, you know, I could get a Swift off here, but I don't know if I will. No, unfortunately I won't, but I get another Charm. If I can Astonish this down in 1, we're still in it. Nice, okay. I don't get knocked out here by just a single move from the Gastrodon. I can go for the Dynamic Punch, because the Shadow Punch is not quite enough from this range. If they have Earth Power here, that is their highest damaging move they can throw, which they do have it, but I survive it, because Dusknoir, despite being Shadow, is honestly not that squishy of a Pokemon. But if Mudslap didn't have that nerf this season, I wonder if the Fast Food Pressure would have been enough to just knock us out. Big Dynamic Punch. Down goes the Gastro. Oh, well, they top left, but still, we get the win. Memi. Oh boy, Memi actually, I think, just won a regional championship in Latin America, so coming fresh off a win, let's see what they're using. Pretty good lead for us, I would have to say. Charm is super effective here. With that said, they can do a lot of damage to us if they want to. Oh, and we see a Dondozo come in. Alright, I was trying out Dondozo yesterday. Very neutral Pokemon. Only problem with it is it doesn't have any bait moves, so it's like not the most consistent Pokemon at like landing a lot of charge attack pressure, but its raw bulk, as well as its waterfall damage, can be pretty scary. 8. Alright. I mean, I can survive one Surf here, and I don't necessarily need Switch. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let this go, and I'm actually going to go for a Shadow Punch Undercharge. That way, I don't give the Morpeko any unnecessary farm, because I don't need Switch against that thing, right? If anything, I just kind of want this Dondozo gone. Oh. Well, they shielded that. Okay, well, I think that's really good for us. I mean, I could shield this to try to farm down, but I don't think that's worth it. I think taking the shield advantage here, and maybe just getting a nasty Mudshot down could be pretty nice. Oh, but we see a Gourgeist in the back line. Probably shouldn't have brought this in as quickly as I did here. Yeah, I'm going to bank all this energy and just come into Wigglytuff, though. Obviously, they're going to Seed Bomb either way, but if I can put this into Stone Edge range with my Charms, that's also going to be pretty nice. They're at 4, so at this point, they're at their next Seed Bomb. 5, so they're at 1. What do I want to do here? I think I let this go. And now I can Stone Edge. And hopefully that's going to be enough here. Gourgeist is a bit of a scary Pokemon to see for Quagsire, but I do resist the Fire-type damage at the very least. And after those charms, I'm hoping that a Stone Edge will be enough, but it will be kind of close, just because obviously Gourgeist is not the squishiest Pokemon in the game. We get the shield, okay. And I think they're one more Incinerate from the back-to-back Seed Bombs right now. But there is a catch opportunity available to them, and we'll see if a Stone Edge even knocks them out here. It doesn't, so they will unfortunately land a Seed Bomb, but I'm hoping that I can Mudshot down before a second attack is reached. And if that's the case, I should still be in a decent spot here. But we'll see what happens, because that Morpeko, if it's on Seed Bomb, could be kind of scary. Morpeko does come back in. Okay, they go for a catch, rather. Luckily, we call it. With that said, this is still going to be a little bit scary. This Dondozo is not in Mudshot downrange. That thing takes no damage here. So I have to throw energy against him. Which means, honestly, I don't know if we have the damage output that we need here to win this game. Because an Aura Wheel would knock us out. I have to shield this up. It's a Psychic Fang, so they might get a second Psychic Fangs off, and they'll get a debuffed Psychic Fangs into us. So this could actually be bad. Let's see if a Psychic Fangs knocks us out here. It's going to be -1 defense. So I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh, wait. So, I'm an idiot. By the way, I'm an idiot. I thought for some reason they still had an extra shield. I just win that. Never mind. Never mind. I just win. There we go. Next match. All right, let's lock in. Let's play smarter. Tinkaton into Wigglytuff. Bad lead, but I do have our backline here ready to handle this, so let's switch into Dusknoir and see what they want to do. Well, that's not great. But Xylis here is not like the worst Pokemon for me to see, because I can go for a shield advantage potentially against this. It could be like Double Dragon. I'm gonna go for a bait here, because if they no shield and nuke, they just get one shot, so it's like they kind of almost have to shield that, right? And they have to go for a nuke here. They have to go for a full-on, what's it called? A Dark Pulse to knock us out. I'm gonna go for a no shield. Because if they body slam, that is so good for us. Hold on. Okay, now we get both shields for free. There can always be a grass type in the backline I don't want to see with my Quagsire, but up 2 shields, we're in a much better spot here, and I don't think they can Dragon Breath this down before I get a Shadow Punch, which at this point, they might be in range where Shadow Punch just knocks out, so they're forced to throw another move. They're only going to get maybe 1 Body Slam off into my Wigglytuff. Alright, well, calling that Body Slam bait was massive for us here. 2 shields to 0 thanks to Dusknoir safe swap. And we end up getting 1 charm through. I don't think that 1 charm quite knocks out. Xylis is not as squishy as some Dragon Dark types, especially Shadow Hydreigon, right? Alright. Yeah. Oh, they do get a second one off. Fine, that doesn't really matter. We get one shot by Gigaton Hammer no matter what. And just getting that second charm through means now we have at least a little bit more energy, which isn't terrible for us. Okay, that's playable. I think we just win, maybe? We'll see, I shouldn't say that. But it is looking good because I think an Aqua Tail plus a Stone Edge should knock out the Malamar. And because of how quick you are to reaching charge attacks here with Quagsire, I should reach both before they get to a second move. And then as long as I get 2 Aqua Tails into the Tinkaton, I should be fine. I'm going to shield this up to make sure that they have to go for Gigaton Hammer against us with that Tinkaton later on. Yeah, we're at the Stone Edge. They're not going to reach a move just yet. So we can knock them out here. And we should be in a very playable spot. But since I don't have Mud Bomb, obviously that does make this a little worse. If I had Mud Bomb, we'd do a lot more damage to the Tinkaton. Super effective Mud Shot is not exactly the best move in the game, right? So it makes things a little bit scary. With that said, I think a play I could try to go for here is maybe just swap into Wigglytuff in just a second. Because I can force him to go for a full Gigaton Hammer, and then I can get a lot of charm damage, honestly, which might put them closer to Mudshot range, or Aqua Tail plus Mudshot range. We just no-shield this, force him to go for the full-on Gigaton. And we'll see what happens now. Yeah, I mean, this is where they likely go for a Bulldoze bait, which is a little bit scary if they do properly get it off. But even if they do, I think we are going to be fine here. But they just Gigaton. They full send hoping that I let it go, and that does take a lot more energy here than it would take to just go for a Bulldoze bait. So I think now Aqua Tail plus a Mudshot should knock them out before they get to another Gigaton Hammer, and we should have the win. Oh, they just top left, so yeah, definitely. Let's go. Quagsire's just too good in the back. All right, next opponent. We'll see Wigglytuff up against Galarian Corsola. This is where I want to see it. I resist ghost type damage. They have to go for less efficient power gems into us, so everything about this is pretty nice to see. And they are staying in the lead as well. That's kind of crazy to me. Charm here is doing quite a bit of damage to them, and they do throw a power gem before I get my Icy Wind off. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try to take an Icy Wind and then switch out after the fact. Or maybe at this point, they're just going to play this out in the zeros, because, I mean, well, it's not a great matchup. Corsola can put in some work in the zeros. There's not much point in debuffing just yet, because they could swap out and clear the debuff. I want to have energy in case they do switch, and I can debuff them still before they get the power gem off. So we'll see how much this does. It doesn't quite knock out, I know that much, but it should put them into a range where I can even just farm them down with Astonishes or Charms. I don't know if Mudshot down would be a possibility here, but we'll see, we'll see. Power gem comes through, we survive pretty easily, and they come in with their own Wigglytuff. That is insane. A based Wigglytuff abuser. The good thing is I do have access to Icy Wind, which can debuff them. That's why I wanted to build up as much energy as we did there. And now I'm hoping there's not, like, a second answer to Dusknoir in the backline. 4, 5. Oh, wow. I guess they throw a Swift? So they don't even go for the Icy Wind. I know I survived this pretty easily. And I also know that... Oh, wait, I'm dumb. So that is an Icy Wind. Yeah, I guess I got 2 Charms against this. What am I talking about? Don't mind me. Anyway, I'm going to Stone Edge here. Because if I Stone Edge, then I should be able to put them into either a range where they have to shield or they get knocked out. And if they do shield this, I have an Aqua Tail. Oh, that doesn't quite knock out. That's fine. I get an extra Mudshot through. This is not bad. This is not bad. Corsola is still outside of range where I can Mudshot down, but I have a lot of energy here. And if they wait long enough, I could actually switch out too. So, like, I don't have to worry about Mudshotting down. Nice. Okay, so I have a lot of energy on Quagsire. Okay. Well, that's a 5-0. That's a classic Wigglytuff 5-0. The first time I've used this Pokemon in months. And we just get an instant 5-0. That's not a good sign. This Pokemon's not supposed to do this. Well, I guess maybe it is supposed to do it. It's so good. Let's cash this in. Okay, we're not allowed to cash this in thanks to Lapras here. Lapras also a cool Pokemon, but I'm not using you today. All right. 3195. Almost back to 3200s. Let's go. All right, next opponent. Wiggly's done good so far. Can it keep it going? Wiggly into Altaria. That's a pretty good lead, I have to say. Likely going to be some Steel types in the backline. We'll see what they end up bringing into us here. This is a Bug Bite Shadow Fortress, so we can bring in our Dusknoir. I was going to say, if they're going to be on the other moveset with Volt Switch, then I'd rather bring in my Quagsire. But on Bug Bite, my Dusknoir is my best answer to this. Although both ways would work out. I think I survived the Rock Tomb here, and I think I just get the Astonish down. I don't want to go down shields right now. So let's just let this go. Oh, they Sand Tomb? That's actually really good for us. Kind of surprised they'd go for that. They can farm us down with Altaria, but now I'll land a Shadow Punch into them, or a Dynamic Punch into whatever else if they come in with something, but... Yeah, they only get 7 Dragon Breaths so far. Maybe they'll come out of this with a Sky Attack, but they need at least 2 of those to knock out Wigglytuff. And getting the Shadow Punch off is going to put them into Stone Edge range, potentially. Alright, they're at like 11, I think. Okay, well, it's just double steel, and we have the double steel counters in the backline. This is looking good, but we have to keep in mind here that since I don't have Mud Bomb, we don't have an instant way to deal a lot of damage here, but honestly, just segmenting the damage up with a lot of Aqua Tails is also pretty awkward for them. And I think the play is always going to be no-shield the first attack, because they could bulldoze debuff us, but yeah, I think that was pretty over. Alright, next battle. We'll see Wigglytuff into Corviknight. Okay. You know, it's not a great lead matchup here. I think I'm actually going to just switch out instantly to my Dusknoir, and we end up baiting out a regular Malamar here. I think I just straight up win the one-shield matchup thanks to Dusknoir being a pretty quick Pokemon to reaching charge attacks, and we'll see what's in the backline. Shadow Punch is going to hurt, so we likely see a shield. Yeah, makes sense. And I don't think I can fully Astonish down a regular Malamar. A Shadow Malamar I'd be able to, I think, but not the regular. Alright, we'll shield this up. I'm hoping they don't get to a foul play like another one against us and a superpower into Wigglytuff, but they could, I guess. But again, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Alright, big Shadow Punch. Do we get a shield here? Or do they just let this go? They do shield? Okay. Okay. Okay, this isn't bad. We catch a foul play on Wigglytuff. We save energy on Dusknoir. I unfortunately did not get a Charm Sneak, but I think this is not bad for us. Okay, they did an extra Sidewave before switching out. I think there's a good chance this game they will get another move off with that Malamar. But unless they're on Iron Head, they need at least 2 moves to knock us out. And if they don't boost with an Air Cutter early on, then I should be able to debuff their attack stat and make it a little bit more miserable for them here in this matchup, where even the next Air Cutter is not quite enough to KO us. Icy Wind as quick as we can, because I'm a Wigglytuff user, and that's what Wigglytuff users do. Yeah, they do let that go, makes sense. And we'll see what to do here. Alright, I'm gonna go for the no shield. I know I survive this, and if I can, maybe swapping back to my Dusknoir could be a good play. Save some energy here, get a Shadow Punch off into this. Or even just Astonish damage isn't bad. Oh, or they don't even throw an Air Cutter against us. They were hoping they could get to a payback, but I have the Shadow Punch ready. Do they bring in their Malamar again? I mean, they could, but if they do, I think I might just shield and farm them down. Because if they do that, I likely get to a Dynamic or a Shadow into whatever's in the back line. I'm going to shield this up. And I guess we'll see if they get a second Foul Play off against us now, but I don't think they will. Okay, well, what if it's a Diggersby in the back line? It is actually on Mudshot, so that is, like, slightly worse for us, but, I mean, landing a Dynamic Punch here is just going to put them into Aqua Tail range immediately. And I have a Swift on my Wigglytuff, and yeah, that's a lot of damage. Am I going to get another move off here? I think if I do, it's only going to be a Shadow Punch. Yeah, okay. But a Shadow Punch isn't bad chip either. We're going to go in with our Wigglytuff, because honestly, I think this is the right play. It could be bad to do this, but I don't think it will be, because now they're going to be forced to throw energy to knock us out here. Or, I guess, forced to top left, never mind. People keep top lefting before I get the finishing blow, it's so sad. Alright, next battle. The Wiggler into Shadow Kanto Ninetales. Alright, not a great lead matchup, our charms are resisted here, but I mean, I can at least get to a Shadow Punch before an Overheat. So if they throw a move before I get a Shadow Punch, then they're going to be going for a Sheep attack here, like a Weather Ball. Although it will do probably a bit over half our HP. It's still a pretty sizable amount of damage to us. We just don't get one shot, right? Okay, we bait out an Azu, which is not amazing. This is not looking great for us right now, because I think I've fought this team before. And I would not be surprised if there's a Grass type in the back line. Like a Go-Goat. And if that's the case, then we probably lose this game, but we will try our very best to not lose this game. If I could switch right now, that'd be nice, but they're going to get a big farm down against our Dusknoir too. 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, that's a lot of energy to give to an Azumarill right now. But I can bring in Wigglytuff here, as any good Wigglytuff user would, and I can hope for the best. If they Hydro Pump us, I don't think they get a second move off, so that might not even be the best play for them. Yeah, they go for a Play Rough. Get to the second one here, unfortunately. But at least I do end up knocking this out. I don't know how good that's going to be for us, but we do knock it out. We can save the energy here, too, and hope for no Grass type in the backline, which there's almost certainly going to be. Oh, it's not actually a Grass type in the backline. It's a Shadow Primeape, which is maybe a little bit more playable, but still, it could be dicey. These Karate Chops are going to put us down really low on HP, and I have to go for shields against Rage Fists of all things. But Aqua Tail should be able to knock this out, rather. If I could knock this out sooner rather than later, I'd be happy, but yeah, they're always going to shield. Because they need to do as many Karate Chops as they can against us. They're at 4. Man, what's their coverage move going to be on that Ninetales? Whoa. That's so annoying. I could have thrown the Aqua Tail immediately, and I would have just won that game on the spot. But for some reason, they overfarmed by 1 more, which is a good play on their part. But, like, it's crazy to me that they just did that. Maybe they don't know my counts then. Maybe they aren't quite sure where I'm at energy-wise. They don't know where I'm at energy-wise. That's why they did that. They overfarm. I get the Aqua Tail through. Wait a second. Does this just knock out? Okay. They miscounted my Quagsire because I kept on overfarming, so they didn't know what I was at. How did we win that game? How did we just win that? That's insane, dude. All right, next opponent. Hopefully no more Ninetales leads. That was a little bit too close for comfort. We see a Malamar, which is much better. Our whole team is playing to this, but by far, this is my best matchup. Okay, they come in with the Fearow, And as we saw a little bit earlier on today, this is not a Pokemon that I really love to see with my backline. So we will go for a shield on the first move, but for some reason Charms just do an absurd amount of damage, so this is not that bad for us. We shield the first, we do one more Charm, we go for an Icy Wind, and now if they do shield this attack up, then I just go for a no-shield farm down against them, and then I'll have some energy for the backline. Right, Icy Wind, do we get a shield? We do, actually, alright. Not bad to see. I should survive this now, and I think they are going to get knocked out by 3 more Charms, so they're not going to get to another attack. Yeah, that doesn't do anything to us. Pitiful damage, right? Yeah, we end up getting the full farm down there. I could probably get a move off into whatever comes in. Yep. Icy Wind this. And then I think the play is just try to get an energy lead on my Shadow Dusknoir here. Just to try to outpace that Malamar. Yep. Okay. But I don't know if 2 Shadow Punches actually knock this out. Like, I don't think 1 Shadow Punch knocks out, rather. And I don't think I'm going to get to a Dynamic Punch. So what's probably going to happen here is they're likely going to shield one of these and end up... I should have Dynamic there. But, like, I guess if they no-shield this, that's also fine for me. We'll see what happens. I don't know. This game's going to get so awkward just because that Corviknight does have a lot of energy. They let that go, though. I think they have to go for a payback to knock us out, right? So I can Astonish them, hopefully, into Aqua Tail range. Alright, I think this is better for us, actually. Because I think an Aqua Tail after the Fast Move pressure should just be enough. They need 2 attacks off into my Quagsire no matter what here. So we just bring this in. We try to double Aqua Tail and see if we get there before a payback plus an Air Cutter. And I think we do. They took a lot of Astonish damage, right? Oh, if they let that go, I think just the Charms and the Mud Shots will do it. Yeah, I mean, they realize if they can't survive an Aqua Tail, not much they can do there, so we'll take the win once again. Alright, next opponent. We'll see Wigglytuff up against Shadow Typhlosion. Very bad lead. Very bad lead, but we will come in Shadow Dusknoir here just to get as much fast move pressure against him as we can. And, like, if possible, I would love to be able to flip switch this game and get my Quagsire against this. Alright, not the best timing by them, actually. They give me almost a full Astonish sneak. So, hopefully I can just go for a lot of fast move pressure if they stay in now. Oh, they bring in a Feraligatr, but, I mean, that's still fine. I can at least get to 2 Shadow Punches off against this, and baiting this out is probably good for Quagsire. It does shield the first attack, okay. Go for another Shadow Punch here, just to get the raw damage against them. They likely don't shield this, but that's fine. I am a little bit worried that it could be like a Grass type in the back, though. If that's the case, that's not great for us. But luckily, I think 1 Charm should knock them out, so they only get 1 Hydro Cannon here. Unless, like, I lag a turn and don't get the Charm through, but no, it looks like we do end up getting the Charm. And Hydro will hurt, but it's not going to knock us out. Oh! They're disrespecting Quagsire right about now. That's insane. 6, alright. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Because they have a lot of potential damage with Blast Burns and Gigaton Hammers, but Quagsire is going to try its best to sweep. And, what do I want to do here? I'm going to no-shield this, hoping for a Bulldoze. Okay, we're at 5. Don't debuff me, please. Nice. 6, 7. Alright. I think I have to shield the potential Gigaton now. Okay, they're at 2. But, like, I think I'm fine. Because they're not going to get a Gigaton before I farm them down. And they should be drawing on Typhlosion, so 2 Incinerates away from their next move. So I should just get 2 Aqua Tails. And even if I don't, maybe Wiggly closes out the game. Okay! Well, we just beat the Typhlosion lead. Let's go. Final opponent of the set here. Let's see if Wigglytuff can pick up another good lead. It's had some decent success. And we see a Togekiss on the lead. So, honestly, once again, don't hate to see this Pokemon here. My backline is a little bit soft to Togekiss, so... Well, it's my Quagsire, right? Doesn't necessarily love to see it. 7. Alright. I do survive the first attack from them, so... I think I'm gonna no-shield. It's not quite as scary as a Fearow is, so... No-shielding this doesn't seem like a terrible play. I should get a shield advantage by going for an Icy Wind now. They're at 9, so they have another move. Well, I guess they're at 4 after that Orsier, right? So 1 away from the next attack. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. I'm gonna let this go. Wigglytuff at this point could win Switch if I wanted it to, but I have a shield advantage, and I've debuffed this Togekiss. Oh, interesting. Undercharge to get one more peck, I guess. Kind of a heads-up play in a way, but I don't think it's going to matter too much here, because, like, either way, they're only going to get a Psyshock, although they built it to a Dazzling Gleam. Do they ever run Dazzling Gleam on this? That is a crazy overfarm by them. They actually do. You know what? That one extra peck that they got, really smart play by them. Okay, Licky Licky in the back. At least I have Dynamic Punches for this, but... I guess we'll see what the final Pokemon's going to be. They're at 5 right now, so... do shield, that makes sense. I'll shield this up as well. I can likely land a Dynamic Punch into either this Licky Licky or whatever else is in this backline. They do Body Slam, makes sense. I'd likely swap here, but I'm fine with that. They don't. They're just building up energy. Okay. At least Dynamic Punch is going to hurt quite a bit. They're at a Shadow Ball right now. But they might go double Body Slam, and if they do, like, I think no matter what right now, I just need to build up energy on Quagsire. I can't really shield weak moves from a Licky Licky. They do Shadow Ball, makes sense. Oh, Aegislash in the back, okay. Well, let's see what we can do here. I know that at this point, they are going to get a lot of energy, right? And they're going to take very little damage. $13. And my Dusknoir is a little bit too low, I think, unfortunately, to, like, get any Astonish damage off. But I do have back-to-back Aqua Tails, which is kind of cool. They're at 17 right now, so they have access to back-to-back Shadow Balls. But I have the Aqua Tail. But they do the catch. Okay, makes sense. But if I undercharge this, I should be fine. Maybe. As long as I get 4 more Mud Shots out of this. Which I should, yeah. If they get a move, it's only a Body Slam. So I have to no-shield. Actually, no, I can shield this up every day of the week. Because at this point, Aegislash does not win CMP against us. And we just go for the Aqua Tail immediately. This should knock out the Aegislash. Right? I mean, if it doesn't, Aegislash does have 2 attacks and it can win the game, but they're really low. This is our 5th freaking Aqua Tail landing into this Pokemon. There we go, dude. Oh my goodness, what just happened? What just happened? Is that back-to-back 5-0 sets with Wigglytuff? I don't even know how to express how disappointed I am. I'm going too fast. That's crazy. My Elo's going too fast. It's going too fast upwards right now. All right, well, what does that put us to? 3271? You've got to be joking me. I don't know what to say other than I'm sorry. I gotta showcase every Pokemon, right? Wigglytuff is one of them, and unfortunately it is one of the best Pokemon in the meta right now. It shuts down so many picks. Even in bad matchups, at least you have utility of going for Icy Wind debuffs. Everything about this pick is just stupid. I hope it gets nerfed. I guess we'll have to see in the next meta update. But yeah, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.